According to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute (SIPRI), in 2017 Russia reduced its armaments expenditure by 20% to $66.3 billion. In Russia, the expenditure on what is designated national defense, and the general military expenditure is calculated differently. The National Defense section does not include what the Ministry of Defense spends on housing and utilities, healthcare, education, mass media, physical education and social welfare. On the other hand, the military expenditure includes the costs of other militarized organizations, primarily the National Guard and the Federal Security Service's border guard units. Furthermore, the state's financing of the military-industrial complex on top of the actual national defense procurements, subsidies in the form of capital and payments and a number of national and federal special-purpose programs financed via the national economy section must be taken into account. For instance, the National Defense section in the 2016 budget stipulated 3.8 trillion rubles. However, according to the calculations made by the Military Economy Laboratory of the Gaidar Institute, the total military expenditure for that year amounted to 4.9 trillion rubles, i.e., over 1 trillion rubles, $16 billion higher. Analysts from the PricewaterhouseCoopers PwC consulting company looked over the data for 2016 and noted that, in 2017 Russia spent almost $70 billion on defense, which is over 5% of the country's GDP. Many Russian experts are pointing out that the recent growth in defense expenditure has been concealed by using secret expenditure sections in the state budget, and their proportion is increasing annually. At the annual press conference on the 14th of December 2017, Vladimir Putin remarked that in 2018 the defense expenditure should be 2.8 trillion rubles. Current exchange rate puts it at approximately $47.7 billion. However, Russia's 2018 state budget will again have secret sections, this time totaling to almost 3 trillion rubles, 17.6% of the total Russian budget for 2018. Igor Setyagin from the Royal United Services Institute for Defense and Security Studies in London asserts that financing of the Russian Ministry of Defense is performed largely via other government bodies and the actual expenditure can be between 30 and 50% higher than that indicated in the budget. In late 2017 the Ministry of Defense announced the adoption of the 2018 to 2027 State Armament Program. The military intends to spend up to 19 trillion rubles on new weapons and the accompanying infrastructure over the next 9 years. As stated by officials, this is 1 trillion less than envisioned in the current program for 2011 to 2020. In fact, the new program will be 2 years shorter. Hence we should look not at the sum total of the expenditure, but at the annual average value. We can thus establish that the new program is in fact 10% more expensive than the planned figures of the current program. And when we examine the actual average financing per finished year, it comes out even 40% higher. Therefore, to obtain precise information about Russia's military budget, a researcher must be good at both economic analysis and cryptanalysis.